Hello and welcome to a brief edition of 10 Buck Test Bench. I haven't made a video in a while or answered any comments in a while. I've been traveling for work, and when I'm home I am just flat out trying to catch up on everything that I'm getting behind on. But I did take time out this weekend to go to Nearfest, to the Ham Radio Festival, and I heard people whining and complaining about no one's gonna be there, it's raining, or the turnout isn't good because I'm not gonna bother going. Well, if you got off your duff, all the people who said I'm not gonna go because there's a lousy turnout, we'd have a great turnout. Saturday morning it was sprinkling a little bit when I got my tickets. At 9 o'clock it stopped raining, and there was absolutely no rain until noontime. And in that period of time I scored a bunch of goodies for the 10 Buck Test Bench. And I went back again today and picked up a couple more odds and ends. Let's see, we picked up this Pilot radio, and this is an oldie in remarkably good condition. In fact, I think it's been refinished at least once, because I believe this is supposed to have gold labeling for the different controls. Now, I know it looks a little rough, but there are no dents in the screening whatsoever. The bottom of the cabinet has all of the original hardware. I gotta be careful because the electrodynamic speaker's floating around. Original screws, original washers on the bottom. And the back of the unit has the original back. That's somewhat unusual. These are usually lost. This piece here is not part of the original radio, at least not according to Sam's. The knobs, I thought this was something that someone had added to assist somebody with arthritis or something, but looking at the Sam's photo facts, those little discs on the knobs evidently are original. I think they're kind of silly looking, but it appears they're original. So at some point in a not too distant future, I'm going to repair and restore that radio. We're going to be using this gear. I picked up an Nikon VM, and look at the size of that. Whoops, look at the size of that meter. That's a very, very big meter. I just love stuff with meter movements that large. There's a little bit of battery damage inside, but the wafer switches are good, the meter movement's good, the power transformer's good. Everything else can be replaced with ease. I think I'm going to have to do one tube socket, but cosmetically the front's not dented, the cabinet's not dented. A quick respray of the cabinet and a little polishing on the front, that's going to be a great looking addition to the bench. We picked up an Nikon signal generator. Again, no scratches in the paint. Now, the bezel here, the paint's flaking off. That's common for these. Every single one of these I've ever seen, the black paint comes off that aluminum, that cast aluminum piece. I think they did a very poor prep job for paint, but we'll sand that down, prime it, and repaint that black, and this thing will look like it left the factory. The case itself is filthy, but we'll clean that up, give that a quick overspray back to the original color, and that'll look great. And again, look at the band spread on this thing. This is 200 to 600 kilohertz in that one range, so you've got a lot of band spread for a lot of accuracy. Nice little unit. We picked up, oops, slow down on the panning here. We picked up a couple of bags of capacitors from the capacitor lady, $7 a bag. All the common values are in there. These are all Sprague capacitors, and that'll go a long ways towards some of our restorations. Today I picked this up. Now here's an unusual piece. I've never seen a soldering iron like this before. I suspect this was made for some industrial purpose. I picked this up for $2 just because it's curiosity. I already have something like 15 soldering irons, but I believe this one was probably meant for a factory environment, working vertically. Working with a straight soldering iron and your wrist bent all day long would be very uncomfortable. This has a very natural feel if you were working on an electrical enclosure. Don't know if I'll ever use it, but it's in good shape. It was $2. Oh, and by the way, these two pieces right here, I paid $15 for the pair. For this and this, it was $15. I could have literally filled the bed of my pickup truck with the signal generators and VTVMs and voltmeters. I saw a stack of voltmeters that were selling digital voltmeters, $2 a piece. If I didn't already have 8 or 9 of them, I would have bought some. And these two guys here, these two little Heathkit radios, these are identical. These are GR78s, I think. Yes, GR78. They just look so forlorn sitting on the guy's table. I got this pair for a song. And when I got them home, I didn't think they worked. I did a little research and found out that these are three-way power, quote unquote. AC in, DC in, or internal nickel cadmium batteries. But it turns out they will not run on either the AC or the DC input by themselves. They actually run on the internal NiCad batteries. The AC input is merely a trickle charge for the batteries. And they say battery life when plugged in with it will last about 8 hours plugged in before the batteries go flat. Very, very, very unusual power arrangement. The internal batteries for this is not the original battery in here. The internal batteries for this are no longer available, of course. I will probably put 2 4 AA cell holders in here because it breaks the battery pack in 2 and uses a voltage doubler on the tiny little power transformer that's in there to trickle charge the NiCads at about 25 milliamperes. They tell you to leave it plugged in all the time unless you're going to be gone and not use it for months, and then to unplug it and then plug it in for 24 to 48 hours before using it again to let the batteries come back. When I brought these home, I didn't think they worked because I hooked up the AC cord and they were both absolutely dead. Until I did a little research and discovered that, then I took my DC supply in the background and let it sit overnight on these nickel cadmium cells that are in there to bring some life back to them, and lo and behold, they work fine. So they do need an alignment. They're somewhat deaf on a couple of the bands. I think they both need alignment. Simple enough to do. All that documentation is free online. So we'll put some NiCads in there. I'll probably eBay one of these and keep the other one around just as a curiosity. So that's it. For those who think you can't get anything at a rainy day flea market, there is what you get. And again, I could have literally filled my pickup truck with stuff. Nobody showed up to claim the free goodies. I was there today, I was there Friday, and nobody came by to claim the goodies that we had up for grabs. It's a shame. Anyway, that's it. Real quick, real brief, just an update on what's going on. I'm the Radio Mechanic. See you later.